Welcome to Lesson 3.7 of the Grant Architect course where we explore citation strategy. In our previous lesson, we covered the fundamentals of literature review, including how to search efficiently, read strategically, and synthesize multiple sources. Now we focus on the strategic dimension of citation, examining how to deliberately select and use references to strengthen your proposal. Citation strategy goes beyond simply supporting claims with sources. Strategic citation builds credibility by demonstrating that you are a knowledgeable organization familiar with the scholarly conversation in your field. It shows historical awareness through inclusion of foundational works that shaped current understanding. It demonstrates currency through recent publications that reflect the latest evidence and developments. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how to balance seminal foundational works with recent research, how to select citations strategically for maximum impact, how to adapt your citation approach for different types of funders, and how to build reference lists that communicate expertise and thoroughness. These skills distinguish proposals that simply have citations from proposals that use citations strategically to build compelling arguments. Citations serve multiple purposes in grant proposals, and understanding these purposes helps you use them strategically. The most obvious purpose is providing evidence to support claims with documented sources. When you assert that a problem exists, that an intervention works, or that certain factors affect outcomes, citations provide the backing for these assertions. Claims without citations are mere opinions. Claims with citations carry the weight of documented research. Citations also demonstrate credibility by showing your familiarity with the field. When reviewers see that you cite relevant research appropriately, they conclude that you understand the landscape of knowledge relevant to your work. Conversely, missing key citations or citing irrelevant sources signals unfamiliarity that raises concerns about your organization's expertise. Attribution through proper citation gives credit to original ideas. Academic integrity requires acknowledging intellectual debts. When you build on theories, frameworks, or findings developed by others, citations acknowledge their contributions. Failing to attribute ideas appropriately can constitute plagiarism and undermine trust. Finally, citations position your work within broader scholarship. They show how your proposed work relates to what has come before, how it builds on existing knowledge, and how it contributes to ongoing scholarly conversations. This positioning helps reviewers understand the significance and novelty of what you propose. Seminal works are foundational studies that shaped your field and continue to influence current thinking. These are the classic references that any expert in the field would recognize and expect to see cited when relevant. Citing them demonstrates your awareness of how current understanding developed over time. Every field has seminal works that established key theories, frameworks, or empirical findings. In developmental psychology, you might cite Piaget's foundational work on cognitive development or Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. In public health, seminal works might include original epidemiological studies that established key risk factors or Rose's population-based prevention framework. In education, foundational work on effective instruction or learning theory shapes how we design interventions today. Examples of seminal works include original theoretical formulations that created new ways of understanding phenomena, landmark empirical studies that established important findings for the first time, field-defining research that opened new areas of inquiry, and classic meta-analyses or systematic reviews that synthesized bodies of knowledge. When selecting seminal works to cite, choose the most influential rather than simply the oldest. Age alone does not make something seminal. Focus on works that are still frequently cited, that introduced ideas still in use today, and that experts in the field consistently reference. Missing these foundational citations signals to knowledgeable reviewers that you may not fully understand the intellectual roots of your work. While seminal works demonstrate historical awareness, recent publications demonstrate that you are current with ongoing developments in your field. Recent works are typically defined as publications from the past 3 to 5 years, though this can vary by field and topic. Including recent citations shows reviewers that you actively engage with evolving knowledge and are aware of the latest findings, methods, and debates. The importance of currency cannot be overstated. Knowledge evolves, and what was best practice 5 years ago may be outdated today. Recent publications may report new findings that change how we understand problems, may describe improved intervention methods, may identify new risk factors or protective factors, or may synthesize recent research in systematic reviews. Citing recent work signals that your organization stays informed and applies the latest knowledge to your work. However, recent does not automatically mean better. Publication date alone does not determine quality. A rigorous study from 10 years ago may be more valuable than a weak study published last year. Always evaluate research quality regardless of when it was published. A reference list filled with recent but low-quality sources does not serve you well. The goal is to balance recency with quality, ensuring you cite the best available evidence whether it is recent or older. Some fields evolve more rapidly than others, and citation currency norms vary accordingly. Technology-related fields may expect most citations to be very recent, while fields with more stable knowledge bases may accept older sources more readily. The most effective reference lists include both seminal foundational works and recent publications, as each type strengthens different aspects of your proposal. Historical foundations from seminal works establish theoretical grounding. When you cite foundational theories and classic studies, you demonstrate that your approach is rooted in established knowledge. This grounding provides intellectual legitimacy and shows that you understand why certain approaches work based on well-established principles. Current evidence from recent works demonstrates ongoing relevance. Citing recent studies shows that the problem you address remains current, that your intervention approach reflects the latest developments, and that you are aware of recent advances in the field. Recent evidence also provides the most up-to-date estimates of prevalence, outcomes, and effect sizes. The optimal mix includes both types of citations strategically placed throughout your proposal. When discussing theoretical frameworks or explaining why problems occur, lean on seminal works. When providing evidence of intervention effectiveness or documenting current problem prevalence, emphasize recent sources. A reference list that includes only old sources looks out of date, while one with only recent sources looks like you do not understand the field's intellectual history. Field norms vary regarding how much recency matters. Some fields, particularly those related to technology or rapidly evolving medical knowledge, strongly emphasize recent citations. Others, particularly those with more stable theoretical foundations, accept older citations more readily. Know the conventions in your field and adapt accordingly. When in doubt, aim for a mix that includes both foundational classics and the most relevant recent publications. Strategic citation selection means choosing each reference deliberately to maximize its contribution to your proposal. Every citation should serve a clear purpose, and several criteria guide selection. Relevance means choosing sources directly related to the claims you make. Avoid citing tangentially related sources just to pad your reference list. If you claim that mentoring improves academic outcomes, cite studies specifically examining mentoring and academic outcomes, not studies about general youth development. Reviewers notice when citations do not actually support the claims they accompany. Authority means preferring well-regarded journals and researchers. Publications in high-impact peer-reviewed journals carry more weight than those in obscure outlets. Research by recognized experts in the field carries more credibility than studies by unknown researchers. While this should not be your only criterion, citing authoritative sources strengthens your proposal's credibility. Accessibility matters because reviewers may check your citations. If a reviewer wants to verify a claim you make, they should be able to find and examine your source. Citing widely available sources from established journals is preferable to citing difficult-to-obtain reports or obscure publications. This is particularly important for federal grants, where reviewers often do verify citations. Diversity means drawing from multiple sources rather than relying too heavily on a few. A reference list that cites the same author repeatedly or pulls only from one journal suggests limited engagement with the broader literature. Draw from multiple research groups, multiple journals, and multiple perspectives to demonstrate comprehensive knowledge. Different fields and funders use different citation styles, and using the appropriate format matters for professional presentation. APA style, developed by the American Psychological Association, is common in social sciences and education. It uses author-date in-text citations and organizes reference lists alphabetically by author. If you work in psychology, social work, education, or related fields, APA is likely the expected standard. AMA style from the American Medical Association is common in medical and health fields. It uses numbered citations that correspond to a numbered reference list. This style is expected for proposals to health-focused funders like NIH and health foundations. Chicago and Turabian styles are used in humanities and by some foundations. These styles offer options for either footnote citations or author-date format. Some private foundations have house styles based on these formats. Most importantly, always follow funder-specified formats when the Notice of Funding Opportunity provides citation guidelines. Federal funders sometimes specify exactly how citations should appear, including requirements about font size, format, and where references should be placed within page limits. Ignoring these specifications can result in disqualification or reduced scores. When no style is specified, choose the style standard in your field and apply it consistently throughout your proposal. Mixing styles within a single proposal looks unprofessional and suggests carelessness. If you are unsure what style to use, APA is generally a safe default for social science and human services proposals. Understanding the relationship between in-text citations and reference lists prevents common errors that undermine professionalism. In-text citations appear within your narrative wherever you make claims that require support. They typically include just enough information to identify the source, such as author name and year in APA style, or a superscript number in AMA style. These brief markers direct readers to complete information elsewhere. The reference list appears at the end of your proposal and provides complete bibliographic information for every source you cited. Reference entries include all elements needed to locate the original source: full author names, complete title, publication venue, year, volume, issue, page numbers, and DOI or URL when applicable. Consistency between in-text citations and reference list is essential. Every in-text citation must have a corresponding entry in the reference list, and every reference list entry should be cited somewhere in your text. Orphan citations, where a source appears in text but not in references or vice versa, signal carelessness. Many reviewers specifically check for this consistency. Accuracy requires verifying that details match between in-text citations and reference entries. The author name and year in your text must match exactly what appears in your reference list. Common errors include misspelling author names differently in text versus references, using different years, or citing multiple works by the same author without proper disambiguation. Before submission, systematically verify that every citation appears correctly in both locations. Awareness of common citation errors helps you avoid mistakes that undermine your credibility. Missing citations occur when you make claims without supporting references. Every factual claim, statistic, or assertion about what research shows should be backed by a citation. Reviewers notice unsupported claims and may question whether they are accurate. When editing your proposal, look specifically for statements that need citations but lack them. Incorrect details include wrong publication years, misspelled author names, incorrect page numbers, and inaccurate titles. These errors suggest carelessness and can frustrate reviewers who try to verify your sources. Even small errors like writing 2018 instead of 2019 undermine confidence in your attention to detail. Always verify citation details against the original sources. Format inconsistency means mixing different citation styles within a single proposal. Using APA format for some citations and AMA format for others, or inconsistently formatting similar source types, looks unprofessional. Choose one style and apply it consistently throughout. This includes consistent formatting for author names, titles, italics, punctuation, and all other style elements. Overstatement occurs when you cite sources for claims they do not actually support. This error is particularly damaging because knowledgeable reviewers may check your citations. If a source does not say what you claim it says, you lose credibility entirely. Always verify that your characterization of research findings accurately reflects what the original source actually concluded. Use precise language that does not overstate the evidence. Citation managers are software tools that can dramatically improve your efficiency and accuracy in managing references. Understanding their benefits and limitations helps you use them effectively. Benefits of citation managers include organizing all your sources in one searchable database, generating properly formatted citations with a click, automatically creating reference lists in the correct style, and allowing you to switch between citation styles without reformatting manually. Once you invest time setting up your library, citation managers save hours on every subsequent proposal. Popular tools include Zotero, which is completely free and open source with excellent browser integration that captures source information automatically from web pages and databases. Mendeley is another free option with strong PDF management features that allows you to annotate and organize PDF articles. EndNote is a commercial product commonly used in academic settings with the most comprehensive features, but at a significant cost. All three integrate with word processors, like Microsoft Word. Key features to learn include browser extensions that capture citation information from databases and websites, word processor plugins that insert formatted citations as you write, and the ability to generate complete reference lists automatically. Many tools also support collaboration and sharing of reference libraries across teams. However, always verify generated citations for accuracy. Citation managers occasionally introduce errors, particularly with unusual source types, non-English sources, or sources captured from inconsistent databases. Before submission, check that author names are correct, years are accurate, and all required elements are present. Trust but verify when using automated citation tools. Grant proposals often cite sources beyond traditional peer-reviewed journal articles, and these non-academic sources require special attention to cite correctly. Getting these citations right matters because reviewers may want to verify the sources. Government reports should include the issuing agency, full report title, publication date, and URL where the report can be found. For example, a CDC report would cite the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as the author, include the complete report title, specify the year of publication, and provide the web address. Without these elements, readers cannot locate the source. Gray literature from organizations follows similar principles. Include the organization name, document title, and date. If available online, include the URL. Community needs assessments, foundation reports, and organizational white papers all fall into this category. Be as complete as possible to enable readers to find the original document. Data sources like census data, Bureau of Labor Statistics information, or Health Department records need specific citations. Specify the database or source, the exact dataset or table name, and the year the data represents. Simply citing the Census Bureau is insufficient. Specify which data product and which year. Website citations present unique challenges because web content can change or disappear. Include the organization responsible for the content, the specific page title, the URL, and the date you accessed it. Some citation styles require access dates for online sources. Be aware that links can break, so cite stable URLs when possible, and consider whether the source will still be available when reviewers check it. A strong reference list communicates expertise and thoroughness through its quantity, quality, currency, and relevance. Getting the balance right strengthens your proposal overall. Quantity means including enough citations to support your claims without padding. There is no magic number since the appropriate reference count depends on proposal length, topic complexity, and funder expectations. Federal research grants might include 50 or more references, while a brief foundation letter might include 5 to 10. The goal is comprehensive support for your claims, not impressive length. Padding your list with marginally relevant sources dilutes quality and suggests you value quantity over substance. Quality means drawing from well-regarded sources published in established venues. Prioritize peer-reviewed journals, recognize publishers, authoritative government agencies, and established professional organizations. Avoid sources from unknown websites, predatory journals, or outlets without rigorous editorial standards. The credibility of your sources reflects on the credibility of your proposal. Currency means achieving an appropriate mix of foundational and recent publications. As we discussed earlier, both types serve important purposes. A reference list consisting entirely of sources from 30 years ago raises questions about whether you are current, while one with only sources from the past 2 years suggests you may lack historical perspective. Aim for a mix that demonstrates both deep knowledge and current awareness. Relevance means every source should serve a clear purpose. Ask yourself why each citation appears in your reference list. If you cannot articulate how it supports your proposal, consider removing it. A focused list of highly relevant sources is more impressive than a long list of tangentially related ones. Different types of funders have different expectations for citations, and adapting your approach accordingly strengthens your application. Understanding these differences helps you calibrate your reference list appropriately. Federal agencies often expect extensive academic citations that demonstrate scholarly rigor. NIH, NSF, and DOE reviewers are typically academics who expect to see peer-reviewed research cited appropriately. Federal grant applications may include lengthy reference sections with dozens of sources. These reviewers appreciate engagement with the scholarly literature and expect you to cite foundational works as well as recent publications. Private foundations may accept fewer, more accessible references. Foundation program officers are often practitioners rather than academics, and foundations prioritize readability over scholarly comprehensiveness. A reference list with 10 to 15 well-chosen sources may be more appropriate than one with 50. Focus on the most important and compelling evidence rather than comprehensive coverage. Corporate funders often prefer practical evidence over academic research. They may be more interested in documented results from similar programs than in theoretical frameworks from scholarly journals. Case studies, program evaluations, and documented best practices may resonate more than peer-reviewed research. Emphasize evidence of practical effectiveness and return on investment. Local funders may particularly value local sources and gray literature. Community foundations, United Ways, and local government funders want to see that you understand local conditions. Local needs assessments, community health data, and reports from regional organizations may carry more weight than national research. Balance academic sources with local evidence that demonstrates community understanding. This practical exercise helps you apply citation strategy concepts to your own work. You will analyze and improve an existing reference list, building skills transferable to future proposals. Step 1. Review a recent proposal's reference list from your organization. If you do not have a recent proposal, use a needs statement or program description you have access to. Count the total number of citations and note the types of sources included. Step 2. Analyze the balance of old and new sources. Sort citations by publication date. What proportion are from the past 5 years? What proportion are more than 10 years old? Identify any seminal foundational works that established key theories or findings. Assess whether the balance seems appropriate for your field and funder type. Step 3. Identify gaps in your reference list. Are there important foundational works missing that experts in your field would expect to see? Are there outdated citations that could be replaced with more recent sources? Are there claims in your narrative that lack supporting citations? Make notes on what needs to be added, updated, or removed. Step 4. Research and add citations to strengthen your list. Search for seminal works you identified as missing. Find recent publications to update outdated citations. Add citations for any unsupported claims. After making improvements, review the list again to ensure it now represents the appropriate balance of quality, currency, and relevance for your funder. Let us summarize the key lessons from our exploration of citation strategy. Citations serve strategic purposes beyond simply providing evidence for claims. They build your credibility by demonstrating familiarity with your field. They position your work within broader scholarly conversations, and they communicate your expertise to reviewers. Every citation choice should be deliberate, serving a clear purpose in strengthening your proposal. Balance is required between seminal foundational works and recent publications. Seminal works establish theoretical grounding and demonstrate historical awareness. Recent publications show that you are current with evolving knowledge and that the problems you address remain relevant today. The optimal reference list includes both types, strategically placed to support different aspects of your argument. Accuracy is essential in all aspects of citation. Verify that publication details are correct, that author names are spelled consistently, and that in-text citations match reference list entries. Maintain format consistency throughout, following either funder-specified guidelines or a standard style appropriate for your field. Citation errors signal carelessness that may extend to other parts of your proposal. In our next lesson, we will explore community-based participatory research, or CBPR. You will learn how to involve community members as partners in defining problems and designing solutions, how to incorporate authentic community voice into your need statements, and how to avoid the savior complex narratives that can undermine credibility with funders who value genuine community engagement.